That's the thing. So you guys, last time we played, you were in the city of Baldur's Gate. You were trying to travel east toward the Well of Dragons so that you could make your way up north into the Anarok Desert, looking for a tower, a metal tower somewhere that had crashed from the sky. It's a very confusing statement, but you were in Baldur's Gate. You have gained passage on the Shintar River. I'm never gonna be able to say that right. With the May family, which is a sort of odd gypsy family that seems to live on a boat. You have 2 days in the city of Baldur's Gate. You guys commission some items, purchase some armor. You have some magic items waiting for you. We had a little bit of a shopping spree where you guys went out and spent a bunch of money. And like I said, you have 2 days of time to kill, and then you are going to jump onto this boat, head toward the kingdom of Elturel to head up toward Darkhold and the Well of Dragons to move into the Anarok Desert in search of um, the dog has dropped his ball under the damn table again. In,
Aww.
in
Love
search, I do love him, but I wish he would just go lay down with that ball.
him.
In search of the horde slash lair of. Did you just do it again? In search of the horde slash lair of a golden dragon who seems to have the dragon staff of Waterdeep. You know that the dragons seem to be starting a rage, and you're not sure what's causing it because the king killer star that usually passes through the sky when this happens is not there. But you are worried that the dragons inside Waterdeep will go crazy, and as such will be start murder death killing people. So you're looking for this staff to keep them from entering the city. Do we have any questions about that? No. Okay. So
Wait,
then it's my turn to. Yeah, it's very straightforward. It's very simple. It's not complicated at all. My turn to ask a question. You guys have 2 days in the city of Baldur's Gate. What do you want to do?
I want to do a little bit of shopping. Personally, I want to get a tambourine for no reason other than to, join into these whole festivities that
More
may or may
shopping?
not. Yeah,
Additional
definitely.
shopping? Sure. Yeah. Any shopping you guys want to do? Any items you want to purchase? As long as it's like a
Water
simple
stuff.
thing,
Healing
you can
potion.
do that.
Healing potions? Is that what you said?
You can purchase healing potion.
Cool.
You will be paying full price for them, so 50 gold pieces for the base one.
Sure, I don't know how much money I've got left. Probably not much. Let me see. Oh, I can't. I think I've got like 2 platinum pieces.
What happened?
20 gold.
Oh, 20 gold? Oh, I thought it was 50. Okay.
Now each platinum piece is 10 gold. Each gold is 10 silver. Each 10 silver is 10 copper. It's the metric system of money.
I must not have been keeping track of my money because I have like 2 platinums in my journal.
I think
you do?
after we got off the cruise or at that island, you should have 316 platinum added to whatever you have there.
Hot fucking shit. Okay.
Yeah, that was the amount that we had from the well with the creepy, I don't know, siren thing that was in there.
Oh, then I can definitely
Spooky
get
ghost.
some potions then. I might even get 2.
Okay. Yeah, lesser healing potions are easy to come by, so.
Alright, so I'm gonna spend 10 platinum on 2 greater.
That's lesser. They get progressively more expensive.
Oh, I mean lesser. Lesser. Yeah, sorry, lesser.
I think the greater healing potions are 100, but I'll have to look.
Get lesser.
Sydney might know. Sydney, do you know Do you know the prices of potions off the top of your head?
No idea.
Okay,
I don't know why you think I would know that.
Because you often know the rules.
Yeah, I don't know how much stuff costs. D&D money is weird.
I mean, it's all
Things
fiction.
cost weird amounts.
I think I'm gonna follow suit and see if I can find 2 lesser healing potions and buy those.
Okay.
Ready? Then I will put that in my equipment. Lesser healer.
10 platinum, right? Did we do that right?
Yeah, I spent 10 of them.
Thank
yeah,
you.
10 times 10 is 100.
Yeah. I'm drunk. I've spent most of my day
Guess
drunk
I'll buy
today.
some.
Yeah, Susie was like, I don't know how to boat.
You don't need to know how to boat if you're drunk. Then it just kind of lets you get that luck when you're drunk.
Uh-huh.
Just dumb luck.
Sure. So yeah, potions, other like common items, so like camping equipment, things like that. Those are all easy to come by.
Trail rations or something.
Rations. I think Susie was gonna make magical rations.
I can do magical rations.
Do they like replenish?
It's just a spell.
Create food and water.
Nice.
Yeah.
Never.
Susie, I cannot understand you, my friend.
No, that would make
Yeah.
words, and I. Can you not understand me at all?
I can
No.
understand you.
Okay. No, I was trying to make words, and then I said forget it. So.
Okay. Well, consider it forgotten because I didn't hear it. Is there anything else you guys want to purchase or do over the next 2 days?
I did want to purchase trinkets for kids and mail them if.
Yeah, there's a mail service.
Eh.
So you just want to buy like gifts for the kids?
Yeah, like I don't know. Maybe like it's gonna sound weird. Practice bolts for Squidly.
Yeah, you can get bolts with like a blunted tip on them.
Yeah, so he can practice without using actual bolts. Because
Thinking like those ones with the little suction cups on the ends.
Yeah, they don't have suction cups. They just have like a piece of cloth with like chalk
But
in
it'd
them.
be cute.
So
though.
they impact and don't do a ton of damage. Like,
a journal and fancy pen for Nat.
okay.
And then I don't know if he'd have one, but a blank spell book for Jinx.
Like a spell book is sort of a personal thing for a wizard, so it's not like you go and purchase a spell book. You would just buy a nice book, like a nice journal, something with good quality paper in it. A really high-end, nice journal that Jinx could use as a spell book is gonna be more expensive than the other stuff you're looking for. You're talking like 75 to 100 gold. The paper has to be of a particular quality to record spells on.
Oh no, I know. I was just thinking about something that I could get Nat instead because I wanted him to be. Does Nat have a shield? Does she use a shield?
No.
No, she models her fighting style after Chris, so she uses a pair of dagger and a short sword actually.
Then a nice dagger.
Yeah, that is easily done. Daggers are like 5 gold. Cheaper than paper because they're easier to make in this.
No, a nice dagger, like fancy.
Yeah, same thing.
Okay.
They're just not particularly expensive. If you want to spend, like I think a knife is like 5 gold. If you wanted to spend more to have like jewels encrusted in it and things like that, you could do that.
Can I have it honed? Is that a thing?
I mean, they're all going to be sharp.
I know.
So.
I remember there being like a thing that you could get that was like a nicer version of the thing, though.
Mastercraft, that's like a Pathfinder thing. You guys are level 6, right? 7? And there's 6 of you? I think you guys are level 6. 7?
Oh
Okay,
no,
cool.
I know what I could get her. I will. I can. I'll buy her a and this also is not gonna be expensive. Maybe I'll just get that and the dagger. Like a holster for her weaponry.
Like a sheath?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah, like a finely crafted leather sheath and a belt.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I'll ask the rest of the party if they want to say anything to the kids before I mail it all off.
To tell
Well, I
them
hope
to
you haven't burnt the
take care
salad
of-
bar down yet.
Yeah. Take care of the restaurant, kids.
No. And he like reaches into his hair and pulls out a few feathers.
Aw.
A little piece of meat.
Also, I want to ask them if they've been finding their daily wall chicken. If the people we left in charge have been keeping up their end of hiding wall chicken every day.
Chicken. That gives me another idea. Globby. And he reaches under and pulls out like a few eggs.
I'm not mailing those.
They might be hungry.
I'm not mailing those.
Don't you care about our children?
They'll be bad by the time it gets there.
No, they might hatch.
That is not any better.
I think that would be
No,
worse.
mine hasn't hatched yet, and I keep it warm all day. I've
It
had
looks like
for
he's getting there though.
a while. Yeah, I'm excited to see what comes out of it.
You're going to have a son too, or daughter.
Aw. Yeah, a child.
Yeah, no, not mailing it. I'll mail
Alright.
the feathers. The eggs are staying here.
But if we mail them a pet, then it might teach them responsibility or something.
They
Isn't
already
that
have responsibility. They're watering the plants so that they'll be rewarded by the, what did I say? Plant genie? Something like that.
Yeah. Did your parents do that to you, Kelrick?
I'm gonna go post this.
Do I have a crossbow?
Look, you guys believed in Santa or something.
I have no idea.
I have a light crossbow.
You
Awesome.
can buy big jugs for water.
Yes, I would like big jugs.
And if you want a crossbow, you can buy them, yeah.
So how much did all that cost? The sheath, the bolts, and the book.
Big jugs.
Call it 75 gold pieces.
Cool.
It's a nice round number.
Cool.
Shopkeepers are typically a little shocked when you guys buy in platinum, and there's a few times that people follow you out of stores, and like down the street after you bust out all of this money and just pay in big chunks and sums of money. But they quickly discern that you guys are not easy marks and tend to sort of shift off and not attempt to rob you, though it does seem like they're trying to size you up.
Hmm.
I pay in gold like a normal person.
It's 75 gold is still a fuck ton of money to the average person.
How much are my jugs?
Like a regular jug would like a few copper, I think. Hang on.
Okay. Because I want to get a couple of those so I can store some of the water I produce every day. That way I don't have to cast
a
a spell
jug or a
twice.
pitcher is 2 copper pieces.
2. Okay.
2.
So I'm gonna get. So you guys are you guys buying jugs?
Like for
I would like to buy a jug.
I mean, you could get water skins. Those are a little bit easier to like carry.
Yeah,
They're a
water
little-
skin.
They're a little more expensive. They're 2 silver pieces,
Well, I think I already have one.
and they
in
carry
my
5
Qzisu
pounds of
pack,
water.
whatever.
But they're a little more easily transported than a big fucking urn.
I'll buy one of those.
Okay.
I have one that came in my like adventuring starting kit, whatever
Yep.
thing.
Okay, so we have. So if we bought an extra one, it'd be 2 then.
And it's 4 pints, not 5 gallons.
No, 5 pounds. 5 pounds of water.
Oh, okay.
Pounds is a weird way to measure water.
Is that enough for a day? I don't think that's enough for a day.
Oh.
All right, I'm just gonna buy.
I'll find out. Hang on.
I'm gonna buy a hammock.
1 gallon of water is 8.35 pounds, so it's a little less than a gallon of water. So it's about enough for 1 person for a day.
But not in the desert. All right, I'm gonna buy 2 extra ones, so I have 3. So that'll give me 4 silver.
6. Oh, you're buying 2.
2.
Not okay. Yeah. So 4 silver.
Okay. And I don't. Yeah, I'm just not gonna get jugs.
I will get 3 water skeins and then just kind of fill them up before we leave. I would also like to buy a hammock. Something like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Probably like a copper piece.
Think there are gonna be a lot of trees in the desert to hang your hammock from,
There will be exactly 1.
but you need 2 for a hammock.
Nope, you just need 1 big one.
What? Okay.
I like the idea that you guys are having this conversation in front of a confused shopkeeper.
When
Who's
we
like,
find 1 tree and it's like a palm tree, I'm gonna laugh at you.
So?
You've literally seen Kelric make like an 80-foot tall tree.
I guess so. Oh, is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I forgot. Sydney forgot. Chris probably didn't forget.
Okay. Any other last minute purchases? The jug does carry 1 gallon of liquid. So a little less little more liquid, a little more awkward to carry.
Can't
But we did.
a bag of holding?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna. That's right. We did get a bag of holding, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we all chipped in to
Pitched
get 1.
Okay, then I'm getting 2 of those jugs too, because then I can just like store water in your bag.
Yeah.
Can someone craft a thing that makes the water when you whisper water into it, or is that like a
Alchemy
special
jug?
thing?
Alchemy jug.
I think the only person who knows how to create water is Layla, and the only thing she knows how to craft is like a beauty routine.
Can she create like makeup that'll just like drip water?
No, because that would make her face run.
Oh, you don't put it on your face.
Yeah, but
Well,
that's
maybe you put it under your eyes so it looks like you're always crying.
Make your eyes pop.
You can wear it at like sad occasions when you're not actually sad, just to make sure.
Yeah,
I would also like to purchase a hooded lantern,
sure.
since we're apparently doing that. Where's the...
What's a hooded lantern?
It's
a-
lantern.
It's a lantern with like a little flap on it, so you can adjust how much light comes out of it.
Ah, nice. I would also like a hat. Personally, kind of like a giant sombrero.
I would like a drug rug, please.
Okay, sure. Any other last minute items? If you guys think, I tell you what, if you guys think of anything else, just assume that you bought it while you were in the city. How about that? How's that sound?
Cool.
Okay, cool. So 2 days of other than shopping, is there anything else you guys want to do in those 2 days?
Um,
Da- Oh, Layla's gonna get up to some shenanigans. Though if it was the previous campaign, she'd have to get down to shenanigans. Because he was short.
Just
Nope.
a little bit of shenanigans.
Chris?
I've got I have some crocodile skin that I guess I've been toting around with me. And I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I guess Chris is gonna try and figure out, since we have some downtime, she has leatherworking skills, I think. So I think I'm gonna try and figure out what to make out of it.
Okay. I mean, you know somebody who could make you some crocodile boots.
That's true, but I don't wear boots.
You know what I mean? Some thigh-high crocodile boots.
Yeah.
Nah, he'll just make you crocodile spats.
Chris don't wear
No
boots.
shoes, just the spats.
Yeah.
If you
might be interesting.
You could make the wolf thing that you always see Bad Art of Vikings wearing, where the hood is like the wolf's head.
Oh,
You could do like a cloak like that, but it's fucking crocodile.
Ooh, that's cool. I could wear that.
It's big enough that you could wear it. So when I was a kid, I had this Batman raincoat. And the hood was like a cowl. It came down over your face so that you were looking through the eye holes, and it had the little ears. The crocodile you guys killed, this was forever ago, but it's big enough that if you wanted to make it to where it came down far enough over your face that you were looking through the crocodile eyes, you could do that.
Teeth too.
Yeah, and the teeth would or you could have it
Yeah, it'll be like I'm sitting inside of the mouth of a giant crocodile.
Yeah, if that's what you want to do with it.
I might do that.
That's Chase's idea.
I'll use that as shade when we get to the desert.
I mean, it's water resistant, crocodile skin. Once you scrape all the fucking parasites from the inside of it.
I've already cured it. I've already tanned it.
Yeah, treated it. Yeah, I remember talking about you. You were like, I'm gonna stretch this bitch out in the back alley here. When you guys are living in Waterdeep. Cool. So Chris is gonna spend a couple of days crafting herself something out of the crocodile hide that she has. Several of you go shopping. Is there anything else that you guys do you want to talk to each other? Do you want to talk to any of the NPCs you've met? Find Kalia, the drunk girl with the annoying voice. I'm sure you're all raring to have another conversation with her.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Half-orc guy. What's his story? Is he cute? Forever?
I mean, his physical appearance hasn't changed in 2 days. No. If you just want to bone the half-orc all weekend, you can.
Yeah, I think I might do that.
Sure. Okay, so sexy times for Layla, some crafting time for Chris, and probably some crafting time for Joyden, if I had to guess. Working on dim boots. So a couple days in Waterdeep and in the Elf Song Tavern with its occasional haunting, melancholy tune playing. Pass by rather quickly, and the Dungeon Master burps loud.
Did they have any food and drink experts here?
Experts?
Sports.
Huh?
Exports.
Oh, exports. Baldur's Gate does not really produce anything. As far as you can tell. There's no industry here. Unlike Waterdeep, where it seems like, things are manufactured. Baldur's Gate is just like a trade hub. Coming from up the river, you see a lot of stone, heavy black stone being transported on these ships. And going up the river, you see a lot of other trade goods. So stone and salt and a few other things come down the river and seem to get disseminated. And then going up the river, coming off of ships, are things like textiles, booze. So the main source of income in Baldur's Gate seems to be its access to the river that goes inland. So there's a lot of trade going up and down the river, but there's not a lot of like industry. It doesn't seem like they're making things.
Mm. Okay. I was gonna see if there's anything that we could add to the bar's menu, but
Is there a magic shop for going magicking?
Magic.
Magic?
Yeah, I mean there are apothecaries and things like that, but there's not like a straight up shop where it's just like we sell magic items. There's the weird guy on the second floor, the enchanter, on the second floor of the elf song that you guys talk to. But most of his enchantments seem fairly minor and a little odd. He doesn't seem to like make magic weapons and armor and things like that. Based on experience, this point, it seems like most of the really powerful magic items that you guys have found, um, they weren't really things that were purchased, and they seem to be very old. Magic items don't age, really. They don't tarnish, they don't wear out, they don't fray, so they all look fairly new. But it doesn't seem to be like people are out there enchanting swords left and right, and there's not like a production line for that kind of thing.
I have a question. Is Fidelius silver? My sword?
Fidelius,
My sword.
it is not silvered.
Would it be wrong if... Oh, it's magic. I guess I don't need to silver it.
It's magic. Having it silvered would also be you would you'd probably have to go up north and talk to a dwarf. Like
Okay. Too difficult on this weapon.
yes, it's a very very finely crafted sword. It's very very old and it's enchanted. You would need to go find a very old dwarven smith if you wanted to have something done to it. Somebody who really knew what the fuck they were doing because they've been doing it for 200 years. Um, any of you guys that are, I suppose Layla is sort of puttering around the city looking for magic items, kind of coming up empty. Any of you guys that are participating in her shopping expedition here, sort of looking around and asking around about where magic items can be purchased, you guys can go ahead and make a history check or an arcana check for me.
Cool.
I think Calric's along for the ride, but he's trying to see if there's any like perks. You said history or what?
Arcana. In
Wow.
Baldur's Gate, it's just the one pretty much.
Oh yeah, you got this in the bag.
So Layla, it sort of crosses your mind at a certain point that um, perhaps the actual process of making these more powerful magic items is a little bit forgotten. Um, like the actual magic of enchanting is not at the level that it seems that it once was. And Kelric, you would have a slightly more insight into this, but not a ton more, in the sense that, like, yeah, magic items, like heavily enchanted magic items, are not really being produced any longer. So things like Fidelius or Chris's belt, um, those have to be older because something like that, the knowledge of how to do that has sort of over the last few hundred years been rediscovered. But the reason a lot of adventuring is popular and the reason these magic items are sort of still floating around the world is because at some point somebody knew how to make them. And they get buried with dead people and put in long lost battlefields, and there's stuff like this that exists out there in the world, but it's not easy to come by. It's very very expensive, and no one currently like enchantment is not a regularly practiced like magical art. It's coming back. People are starting to learn it again, but it's limited. It doesn't have the scope that it probably had, however long ago, 1,000 or plus years ago. At some point, people knew how to do it. Kelric, you would know that there used to be an empire of mages, and we've talked a little about them before. But there was an empire of mages called the Netherese, people in fucking floating magical cities that made most of this stuff. These really powerful, ancient magical artifacts that are out there. The Netherese were responsible for their production for the most part.
I feel like Kelric would kind of see it as a cycle, like a natural cycle where everyone makes all the magic shit and then it all just kind of collapses into itself and then it just continues to do that over and over again.
Yeah, the Netherese at one point, like, they ruled most of the world. They had these literal cities that floated, and then at some point some shit went down between them and Mystra, the goddess of magic, and their cities just fell out of the sky and killed them all, and their empire just crumbled. She got mad at them for some reason.
Seems very Icarus.
Perhaps. This would have been just before or just right around the time the gods decided to seal themselves beyond the divine gate.
Mm.
So, I want grilled corn and mushrooms. So the gods are still having an active hand in the world at this point. I don't know. So, anything else we wanna do this fine evening in the city of Waterdeep? Baldur's
Pick up
Gate?
Waterdeep.
Because you're not in Waterdeep, you're in Baldur's Gate.
Whoop.
Can I ask?
I saw paint.
What?
I saw your paint.
My paint?
I'm pretty sure I just saw bottles of paint.
I have paint markers. That's probably what you saw.
Okay. What was your question, Chris?
Can I ask, like the owner of the bar, if they've ever seen like the ghost that sings there?
No. So she would say, no, she doesn't make an appearance. It's just the fucking creepy voice, But people seem to like the voice. But no, she doesn't. We don't ever actually see her.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I guess I want to talk to the guy upstairs since I'm having no luck on the magic front.
Sure.
I want to see if he can make what enchantments he can put in a piece of jewelry.
Enchantment. So
Like
enchantments
a pendant.
Okay. Enchantments take time. So it would take him a few days. And most of the magical things, that he can do are fairly minor. He can make you like a ring that glows. He could make you a ring that helps you feel comfortable in hot temperatures, so it might be useful. He can make you, amulets that help you protect yourself. He can make, simple, fairly innocuous magical items. Not things that can like blast down doors or unlock things or throw fireballs at stuff. But yeah, a ring of like heat resistance.
Yeah, that'd
But
be nice.
something like that would take him like a week to craft.
Yeah, we don't have a week. Oh well.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about it, it's fine.
Oh, okay. I guess I won't. I won't worry about it.
Okay. Anything else? Or are you guys ready to jump on this fucking boat?
Let's jump on this boat.
Okay.
Ready to go to the desert.
We're on a boat, and it's going fast, and it's got a nautical theme, rockin' and Afghan.
I thought you were gonna say ass man, and I was like, what is this looking up to?
Don't judge me. We don't
Now
kink
we know
shame
what
here.
Cat's into. Cat's an ass man.
That butt though.
Yeah, but
It's thick with 2 C's.
I spent a lot of the today staring at my wife in a bikini.
now we're a bikini.
So would all of you. Okay, so the 2 days in Baldur's Gate pass fairly uneventfully. Some shopping is had, some boning is done. Eventually, you guys wrap things up, and toward the morning of the third day, pile in with all of your stuff onto the river barge. The 3 small-masted ship, tent at the back, oars on the side. It's just a single floor. It's just one flat bottom boat, so it doesn't have like multiple floors. So all the textiles and things that the May family seem to be shipping are just piled onto it. He greets you. He will help you onto the boat, but he is very careful to never step off of the boat. And you notice his kids and the 2 older people that seem to be his grandparents and his dark-haired wife. None of them really seem very eager to get off the boat. They stay on the boat. They're careful about not stepping into the city. You guys pile onto his ship. The ship catches sail. The little kids, the youngest one's probably about 6. The oldest one's probably about 15, and there's 4 of them, 2 girls and 2 boys. All of between those 2 ages, though their exact age is hard to nail down. They take orders from seemingly their father and grandmother, but in a language that none of you really seem to understand. It's partially broken common, maybe a little bit of goblin mixed in there, some dwarvish. It's a hodgepodge. It's like a Creole language. It's a bunch of stuff mixed together. So the little kids, all the way up to the oldest people in the ship, all seem to work on it, and they very quickly fall into a rhythm as they begin to pull up anchor and tie down sails and adjust things. The ship very quickly begins to take a clip upriver, and Papa May, as he's introduced himself, the man in charge, seemingly, begins to steer it upriver rather knowingly. He seems like this is a practice thing for him. The weather is warm and pleasant, but not nearly as hot as it has been as fall is starting to come in. So even though you guys are down south and it's far more humid, the heat of the summer seems to be finally giving way. As you guys sail up out of the city, finally leaving sort of the soot of coal fires and the stink of sewage behind you, the waterway opens up. The other ships begin to thin out, some faster than the one you're on, pull ahead, some slower, fall behind. And over the next 3 or 4 hours, you find yourselves sort of literally sailing upriver at a few knots per hour completely alone. The little kids mostly scamper about the ship and go about their jobs, but every once in a while, one of them stops to stare at one of you, sort of confused or in awe or a bit dumbstruck, and will murmur something in this odd pigeon language that they seem to speak. And then one of the either the older boy, the oldest boy, who's about 15, or one of the parents or grandparents will sort of chitter at them, and they'll scurry off about their day's work. But they all seem to know their jobs. They all seem to be good at sailing the ship. And it is, like I said, the river itself is massive. It's about as big as the the Mississippi. So very quickly, the hustle and bustle and stench of the city is left behind, and you find yourselves in a river valley flanked on either side by farmland, sheep and corn and big rows of peas, and it's just open and flat, but the air is clean. It's sunny and warm. Uh, the people on the ship don't seem to expect you to do much work at this point. But let's see what you guys. How about all you guys make perception checks for me?
So,
Natural 20! I'm all on edge.
I'm not sure if I was hurt at all, but if somebody could make a perception check,
For you.
great.
You rolled pretty well. Most of you guys pick up on this. The family, as you guys leave the city behind and move into this more farmland, the family seems to be keeping a more careful eye on the banks of the river, especially in areas where the brush is thick and dense and comes up near the sides of the river itself. So they're just on lookout. They're on watch.
Me too, because they told me river pirates.
They told you river bandits for a potential issue. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna be like on the lookout and like I don't know. I guess this boat it's flat on the top all the way across.
It's like you've seen like a flat bottomed like raft, like flat bottom boat, right? It's
Yeah.
just that, but it's fucking huge.
Yeah. I found a good spot.
Okay. And capable of sailing. So, you guys you leave very early in the morning with fog actually burning off the river as you move up further inland. You guys have about 12 hours of just slowly slogging your way up this river today. Um, During that 12-hour period, is there anything anybody wants to be doing?
I might take a nap so that I can watch at night.
I think I'm going to be working on some shoes. I've learned some new spells this round, so I want to try to work on making them and then enchanting them later.
I think Karek's going to talk to Ira for a bit.
Okay. What do you want to talk to Ira about?
Training montage.
Ooh.
Okay. You want to practice your flirting? Okay. Yeah, so there's a Kelric and Ira training montage over the course of the day of Kelric trying to give compliments and Ira's like, no, Kelric, no pickup lines. Pickup lines are terrible. They never work. And if they do work, that's not somebody you actually want to sleep with.
Mhm.
Um, so so there's a few hours of that. Layla finds a good spot on the ship somewhere warmed by the sun, but she's been careful to apply her sun blocking lotion. She doesn't want to get too burned. Maybe a nice golden glow, but not a burn, right? Um, yeah. Joyden finds a spot on the ship where they can set up their whatever the fuck that shoehorn thing is that you make shoes on. I don't know the name for it, but I know what it looks like. And begins crafting away on shoes. Um, what is Curtis gonna do with his day? 12 hours on the ship, little kids running around.
Well, do the parents have any errands or tasks or big things they need carried around the ship?
Not right now. When you get further inland, it'll have to be unloaded. So then, yeah. But right now, it's just the ship almost sails itself.
So we're just hanging out with a bunch of cargo.
Yep.
Um,
And it's on the
alright.
deck of the ship with heavy tarps thrown over it.
Might just use this time to lazily play some music then.
Okay, so there's the enchanting sounds of I almost said bagpipes of an accordion gently wheezing away in the background. While Kelric and Ira talk, Layla it helps you slumber. Joyden, you can hear the soft tapping of Joyden like placing nails in the sole of a shoe. What is Buster doing during the day?
Mute myself.
You had, but now you're unmuted.
We can hear you now.
Fishing.
Fishing. So Buster has his line and tackle out and is just fishing in the river. Make a survival check for me, Buster.
Survival.
Sis?
Oh,
Aw.
Unfortunately, on your first day of fishing, it does not seem that you're going to have much luck. But I think maybe the monotony of the task and just sort of doing it is distracting. So it's just relaxing, sort of slowly going up the river, your feet dangling off the edge of this big ass boat, line and tackle dragging behind you as you slowly reel it in. You
Aw.
don't catch any fish. Maybe you forgot to put bait on the line. You don't know. It doesn't really matter. Um,
He
but
really
you're
catches
just
his own tail.
you're just enjoying the process. What about Chris?
Gonna watch Buster fish.
Okay. Yeah, about 3 hours into Buster sort of fishing and humming to himself happily, you realize that whatever bait he had put on the line, if there was any, has fallen off.
Oh yeah, it's
Um,
long gone by now.
but you don't want to like interrupt his little because he just seems so happy about it, right? He just seems so joyful that you're like, yeah, just let him do his thing.
It's fine.
We used an egg as bait.
um, so the day slowly trickles by. The river, the sounds of the river, fish in the water, uh, birds flying over the head. You see the occasional farmer out working on their field, and they'll stop and wave. Um, time just seems to sort of slow down. Everything's a little more relaxed. Nothing quite seems so important. But the landscape itself is just sort of flat and boring floating through this area. Eventually, it does begin to get dark, and that evening, the maze they actually pull their river up on or their boat up onto a sandbank in the river, and anchor it off. And begin prepping meals for themselves. They go back toward their tent where they have a brazier with fire in it, and they start to cook themselves dinner. And they're sort of all sitting around this communal fire by the back of the tent eating. They don't. They're not like shutting you guys out, like, "Hey, don't come over here," but they have sort of separated themselves, and almost in a sense of like that. Not that they're trying to be inhospitable, but like in a sense that they're just not used to having people on the boat with them, so they sort of forget you and go about their normal routine. Um, so they all sort of fall into place. Little dark haired kids, the older couple who never seem to really speak to you guys. Maybe they don't speak common because all you've heard them speak is this weird pigeon language. And the younger couple and their kids, they all go back. They seem to be making some sort of stew out of like dried fish and vegetables on this big brazier with a pot hung over it. The evening sets in. You can start to hear the sounds of the night birds coming out and the cicadas, the bugs of the evening, chirping away in the nearby fields. Um, the brush is a little denser around you. With you guys' previous perception checks, you can notice that like when they're all doing some sort of task, when they're all cooking or cleaning or getting ready to eat or setting the fire or moving stuff around, one of them is always like toward the edge of the ship, like watching the nearby foliage, watching the nearby trees nervously. So what do you guys want to do with your night?
Mm, we're on the bank though.
You're on the bank of the river, yeah.
How long
So do
do?
we?
Go
Oh wait,
ahead.
you go.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna ask, do we dock for the night or we just keep going?
It seems like you've stopped for the night. There was no communication about it. They sort of just did that because it seems like that's the thing they do.
I
And the
want to
family,
investigate this crow thing that I caught, or not caught, but bought. Wrong words.
the family that you guys seem to be traveling with just seem very insular. Like they keep to themselves. They try not to talk to you, other than the little kids that'll run up to you every once in a while and sort of stare and drool, or like pull at your clothes, or like one of them smells you and then skitters off when you start to notice it.
Aw.
But like other than the little kids being curious, the older kid and the adults, they seem to like step away from you guys and be it's very insular. It's like they don't quite know how to interact with people that aren't them. you're investigating this crow. So it's a stone. It's a piece of black stone about 8 inches long, about 3 inches around, and it's carved into the shape of a crow. Feathers, long sharp beak, shiny. The eyes are polished, so they look a little more shiny and bright and intelligent. It doesn't seem to have any moving parts, but you do know a command word for it. I'll let you make up a command word. But there's a command word for it. If you say the command word, it supposedly will count everything in like that you ask in a space and then tell you the number of them.
Hmm.
Ask it how many pirates there are.
That would be a trip if it actually started responding.
Nah, no, I'll just really freak it out and say, how many stars are in the sky? um.
How many fish I can catch?
Well, I'm trying to think
Zero.
I'm trying to again. I'm just trying to think of a command word, but until I come up with that, I will ask it. How many bats are flying around?
There's a voice emanates from it, but like it's a bad imitation of a crow's voice. But nothing on the thing itself moves. Like it doesn't suddenly fly around and start counting things. But it just squawks at you like 12.
That's cool.
Ooh, ask how many river pirates are around.
How many river pirates are around?
He's counting.
It goes 8.
Great. See? 8 river pirates. It's not us. I counted us. There's only 6 of us.
So, what about like? Did it count the river pirates we saw on our way here, or the ones that are here now?
Probably the ones that are here now. I don't think it's a time.
It has like an area of effect, right? So it'd be like things within 60 feet of it.
Shit.
Pretty close.
That's cutting it close, man.
Alright, I guess I'm gonna pull out my something.
How work? That thing is pretty
Shield.
nifty.
See if I can see them. Perception?
Kidding.
You can make a perception check.
Perception.
I would also like to help.
20.
If you need it.
20. Layla, upon hearing this, you start glancing around in the brush, looking up and down the river for other boats, scenting the air, trying to smell for fire from a torch or anything like that. You don't hear or see or smell or sense anything other than the group of you on the boat and
We the
the
pirates.
family.
Were we the pirates all along?
How many of the family members are there?
You asking me? Or
Yeah, you. You. Because I forgot.
4 kids, grandparents, mother, father.
There's 8. Hey, they're pirates, guys.
Okay.
Called it.
As long as they don't plunder us.
No, we already paid them.
And maybe they'll plunder someone else's boat.
Is there a way that I could like, I don't know, set up a perimeter and like trap our camp, like make it so that make it so it's like a perimeter where like a I don't know
Rattle
like a
cans or
string.
something?
Yes, like that.
Do you have like rope and cans or bells or something on you?
I do have rope.
Got some hunting traps.
You can put those out.
Gonna catch me a thief.
Yeah, I don't have a belt, so it's nothing else that would rattle.
But Chris, if you want to go out and
You hear a trap if it.
yeah, if you want to go out and
Plants
set
set.
your hunting traps, you can make a survival check for me to try to set them in, places where they won't be seen, and that would like set the DC to notice them.
Can I make like sharp sticks to drive into the ground?
He starts like just making punji sticks.
Just sharp sticks. Why not?
Sure.
Should I survival myself?
Sure.
Hmm.
Hey, I got a 5 to survival. This should be fine.
Okay.
Not bad.
Yeah. So Chris goes out and how many hunting traps do you have, Chris?
I thought I had more, but I only have one apparently. So.
Okay. So Chris goes out and lays a hunting trap out. Layla goes out and starts sharpening like reeds that are growing along the side of the water and planting them in the ground. The family on the boat, the Mays, sort of watch all of this like curiously and a little confused, but they don't ask questions and they don't interfere. They just sort of watch as you guys like mess around in the brush. But they don't get off the boat, so they're just sort of watching, like heads cocked to the side, and they talk to themselves in their strange Creole pigeon language.
Oh, I thought when they were cooking, they were off the boat and
Nope.
cooking in the forest.
No, they
That
have a
makes a lot more
brazier,
sense.
like a metal brazier on the boat.
Oh.
A big pot over it. They do not get off the boat.
I think I'm probably gonna stay on the boat to sleep. Like I don't want to sleep out here.
It's
Yeah.
muddy near the edge of the where they've like there's a sandbar, and then after that it's heavy reeds and a few trees and some heavy brush, and it's just muddy. It's river mud on the sides of it.
Hmm.
Stanky.
Probably can't even get very far then.
Yeah, I think after I'm done putting some sticks down, I will sit on the boat
Okay.
and watch our bank.
Yeah, stinky river mud.
It's
But it's good. It's good for growing stuff. So there's like a cornfield on the other side of it.
Huh.
And the corn's pretty tall. It's not harvest time yet, so the corn is like 4.5 feet tall.
and it's
Ooh,
pretty
while I'm out, can I look for crawdads?
it's pretty wide, right?
Yeah. The river, yeah, it's really wide.
So we don't have to worry about the other side.
No. Yeah, with a 17
Oh.
on survival,
Oh.
I'll just use your other survival check,
Okay.
Chris. With a 17 on survival, you can catch crawfish, crayfish.
Yeah.
When we lived in Texas, there was this guy that was like, I forget where the fuck he was from, but we went to eat crawdads. We went to eat crawfish, and it said crayfish on the menu, and he was just like, "What's a crayfish?" It was Akshat, that's right. He's from India, and the girl was like, it's like it's a crawdad. It's just like the actual name for them is crayfish, but nobody calls them that. And he's like, yeah, but what is a crayfish? Like,
The big
I
shrimp.
don't know what that is. And she's like, I don't know. Like, I can go get one. And I'm like, it's a freshwater lobster. It's like a little freshwater lobster.
Have
And
you
he was like,
guys ever been
okay.
to like? Have you ever been to like those China Star buffets or whatever? Like those big Chinese buffets? I went to one like a long time ago, and probably my favorite thing that I've ever seen is they had a tray of crawfish, but they called them tiny lobsters. Like the English name that they wrote was tiny lobsters, and I was like, oh,
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 you're
you're making it look classy.
you
But
know?
yeah, Chris, we'll say you catch like 10, 15 crawfish.
Cool. Y'all,
know,
I
with-
found some dinner.
Ooh.
Dinner for me, not for you guys. I don't
Oh
get
man,
anything.
I should have bought a fishing kit. I bought a fishing kit.
Okay. Buster bought one before you guys went on the cruise.
Nice.
And the boat
He
was
had
too big to
plans.
fish. The boat was too big to fish off though. Your night fishing goes better, Buster. You managed to catch like some sort of big prehistoric looking fucking thing. After watching Papa May, the father on the boat, cast out a few times and like just taking some of his bait, and he's using crawfish as bait. You managed to reel in this like 3.5 foot long, bony ass looking fish.
Rude.
Layla, you have less luck.
I caught me a tree.
Aw.
A coelacanth? Oh shit.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Those
I
are
like some
no-
fishing.
big one.
So the evening begins to wind down. The night starts to get late. Most of the family filters into the tent. Though you notice that starting with the father, one of them stays on watch and is just watching the brush at the side of the ship.
Me too.
Okay. So Layla's gonna stay up and take watch.
Yeah. I mean, I
Ev-
slept earlier in the day, so.
Is everybody else gonna pass out for a while?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass out early and try to get up for a later lot.
Okay. Okay. So Layla, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
I'll stay up with Layla so
Okay.
she can get advantage.
Sure.
You know,
So you guys
if
have.
she needs it.
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll with advantage. So you guys have a few hours on the ship of just quiet. Is there anything Layla and Kelrick want to do while on watch?
Kelrick has a normal conversation. It's completely normal. It is totally and utterly normal. He might be fiddling with his bag a bit, but it's normal.
Aw.
What's your normal conversation?
I think he talks about like different types of flowers because he thinks of the stuff that he knows Layla would have the most appreciation for that manner of thing.
I like flowers, yeah. Flower smell. I like lavender. I'm a big fan of
Um,
lavender.
But yeah, no, he'll talk about different flowering types and which ones smell nice and all that type. Like
Oh.
you know.
Does he have
he tries to find the bridge between nature and beauty.
Does he have a journal of flowers?
Did you want me to make one?
I don't know. I was just seeing if he had any fancy flowers.
No. Most of the stuff that I have came from whenever I was growing up. You know, so I know a lot about mountain flora.
Mountain flowers. I like purple ones, and pink ones, and red ones. Roses are okay, but not my favorite. Really like the lavender and these things called carnations, but those are kind of hard to find, except kind of by the ocean.
Always like lantern flowers.
Oh, lantern.
They're shaped like little bells.
Oh, there's also bluebells that are shaped like bells. Bloop,
What's a bluebell?
bloop. It's a bell that's blue. Uh-huh. They have like a bunch of them on one stalk. Really?
Cool.
Really? Is that?
Hey Chris, do you want to roll a d4 for me?
Wow. Yikes. Roll low. Hunk.
No, don't roll low, roll high. High is better.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay, well.
Okay. So after your guys' conversation about flowers starts, about the time it starts to turn awkward, and Kelrick's like, "What's a bell?" You hear out in the brush, you hear a snapping sound, and then
Uh-oh.
Oh.
and then you see Papa May jump up with a start, like half asleep with a pipe dangling out of his mouth. Like it falls and clatters down, and he goes,
River pirates.
he startles up and he goes, I need to, what was the accent? Hang on, I gotta go listen to it again.
Dags.
You like Dags?
Can I roll nature to see if I can identify the type of creature that made that noise?
Sure.
Nature roll? Seems like a nature roll. Yay!
Okay. You like Dags? This thing cat? Okay, it's basically Irish, but you don't touch your lips together. Yeah, it's something cursing at Goblin. And you're like river pirates, and then Papa Meg looks at you and goes, worse, Baron Gazelle. Wake the
Uh,
kids. and he like rushes back toward the tent. And looking back now, Layla, you can see that the brush is moving in several locations. Like it's starting to shift and shimmer.
Can I
And you
shoot?
can see, well, you can see coming out of it, a horde of goblins, but they have flat, almost like frog-like webbed feet that help them in the mud. They're pushing their way out of the corn and into the reeds. A few of them begin to stumble into your punji sticks, and you can see one of them dragging a hunting trap behind him. They have rusted, beaten up, stolen weapons and clubs. They have the corn is not at eating point yet, Buster.
Um,
They have clothes that are weaved together out of muck and washed up debris from the side of the river. They do not look they're river goblins. Just put those two words together in your mind, you'll get a pretty clear picture of them. And I'll put you
the
guys
tr-
on the map.
the trigger word's going to be maybe. And so he's going to say, maybe, how many goblins are there coming in?
20.
20 goblins, 20 goblins. Starts waking people up immediately.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have you guys go ahead and roll initiative for me. And this is the guy dragging the trap. I'll put a red dot on him. There we go. And let me throw the maze in here.
Holy crap, that's a lot of river goblins.
Not fighting.
Oh, and I guess I need to roll for Ira too.
I think I was down here by Kelrick talking to him about flowers.
Yeah, this isn't a great scale, but like I said, I went kayaking today.
Oy.
Is
This-
everybody rolled?
Oh,
Goblin,
I didn't.
Layla,
Sorry.
Jamie, Rachel, Maze, Jordan. I
Oh.
just need Kelrick.
Sorry. Wrong buttons. And
Oh, is there 21 of them? Here, let me delete one. There you go.
Goodness.
I was promised 20.
Now there's 20. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Okay.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Um,
20.
if we stay on the boat, I can put a wall between us and them.
So Curtis, you get shaken awake first. Layla rushes over and sort of grabs you and shakes you awake, and she's just like, goblins, a bunch of them. You wake up, sort of roll over half asleep, and with your auric vision of your one like crusty half asleep eye, you can just see a horde of these things coming out of the underbrush near the sides of the river.
That's a lot. That's a lot of them. Just groggily get up.
Sounds. What?
Yeah, he makes the dead sound.
Oh, this is taking far longer than it should. Oh god, I'm old.
No.
Oh, I got my hip popped. So sleep is it's 90-foot range, but it's a 20-foot radius. So let's see if I
Poor
can get.
dog.
Maybe I should wait until they get closer.
See if I can get like a spell template. If I just search for sleep, do I have anything good for sleep? I have a bunch of people asleep. I'm just gonna draw a circle. I don't know. I'd have to go. I mean, I can literally just go like this. Okay. So it should be 20
where's
feet
the
up.
most? Like over here.
40, that's right. It needs to be a little bigger that way. Close enough. Okay, there we go. So it'll be about that big. Yeah.
Alright.
And you want to center it on these guys?
Yeah, wherever the most are grouped.
You
What do you want? Whistle.
Put it
I don't know,
just,
something, 'cause I can't.
just like that. So you will put 28 hit points of them to sleep.
Good.
So that'll be 1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna say these 4 that I've chosen at random. So with a quick toot on the old
Oh, I was gonna say, right, can I just let out a little whistle? Rachel has to whistle for me because I can't do it.
Because my noise cancellation is thinking that
Nope.
my whistling is not my voice.
So a
Aw.
quick sharp, and the group 4 of them just fall asleep into the fucking muck and the mud. Their goblin friends trying to look at them and like, "Ah, and they start arguing. One of them starts going through another one's pockets while he's asleep. And like starts stealing stuff off of him. Not only have you put 4 of them to sleep, but you seem to have caused confusion amongst their ranks.
Start
Which,
casting off the boat, or are we just here for the night?
the maze have not had their turn yet, so you don't know what they're doing.
Alright.
Chris, it is your turn. Hello,
Pull out
Sydney?
my hello.
There you are.
There you go.
Very
Hello.
good.
I missed you.
Oh, okay.
Welcome back.
I'm gonna pull out my crossbow. So, does extra attack work for bow attacks also?
Uh,
Or is it just
n-
melee?
no, it's just melee attacks, and also crossbows have the reload feature, so you can only attack with them once per
Eh,
turn, because you have to
okay.
reload them.
Okay.
Also, it's apparently sunset.
Hmm. I guess I'll crossbow him. I'll just do one. I'll do a little pew.
21 definitely hits.
Pew.
Which one do you want to shoot?
I guess this guy because he seems
Okay.
pretty close.
As he comes stumbling forward, there's a crossbow bolt wings off into the dark. There's a ah noise, and then he falls into the river and starts slowly floating down the stream.
Oh, goodbye.
Ira is gonna go. She jumps up awake at the chaos that's going on and says, I'm not gonna have sex with any of these people. None of them.
Well, we're
They
not
all
perfect.
look like they need a toothbrush. She's not gonna turn into her fiend form because she doesn't want to freak anybody out. I see what she's gonna do. She holds out her hands for Chris's crossbow.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll hand it over.
She takes it and loads it and then hands it back to you.
Oh,
So you can go and take
thanks.
another shot. So I'm just gonna give you 2 attacks on your turn, but because because Ira's reloading your crossbow for you.
Thanks, Ira.
She
Very helpful.
nods and she's like, I don't want to scare the river people.
Yeah, that's fair.
The claws.
They seem a little
24 will hit.
jumpy. Or not
Which one do you
jumpy,
want to shoot?
suspicious. I'll take out this guy.
Okay, another and then dead goblin. Right between its eyes, it just into the water. Do none of you speak goblin, right? Okay,
So.
good, because they're like, Chubbo, no! Kelrick, it's your turn.
I'm going to use the staff to cast Wall of Thorns,
Ooh, that's cool.
which is what this purple light is.
What?
It's a 60-foot long wall. So
I don't see a
that's
purple
12.
line.
Oh, a drew one. Weird.
The line on your
Um,
head.
It's not there for whatever reason.
It starts there. And ends. If I could only. Okay, so it goes
Oh,
from
hey, it just
there.
appeared.
Oh, okay. There.
Okay, so yeah. Okay, so the thorns. Kelrick, describe the casting of this spell.
So I feel like it's kind of a Gandalf moment where he just picks up the staff and slams it down, and then like everything just rapidly grows from the ground.
Yeah, so tangling themselves together, growing up out of the mud and muck and sand along the side of the river is just a bramble of thorns and sharp-looking branches sticking out toward these creatures, and they just wind themselves together and then immediately dry. So they go from green to dry and hard and sharp. The full cycle of life and death appearing is like tangle themselves together. I have to look and see what Wall of Thorns does. I think
Wow.
it makes difficult terrain.
It makes it difficult, and if you try to move through it, it does shit.
78 of slashing damage? Holy fuck!
Yay!
That'll fuck some goblins up.
Layla just looks over at Kelrick. Where are my flowers?
So we're not talking about little like rose thorns. We're talking about like devil's walking stick looking big hooked, like sharp claw looking motherfuckers come out of these brambles and branches. These are long daggers of thorns that have wound themselves together into a literal knot of knot of plants.
Aw.
Yeah, because 78 damage. Kelrick mumbles under his breath.
Layla's a little afraid.
Buster, you snap awake on the deck of the ship, and you can see this just horde of goblins coming through. Although there's a wall now of deadly looking plant life in the way. You are muted, madame. Or should I say, madame?
Spelled with a Y. Damn.
Hey, hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think if you know that fish it gave me a bad dream. Yes.
The fish gave you what?
A bad dream.
Okay. So you can see all the goblins, though. They don't seem to be a dream.
Alright, well, I'm going to Eldritch Blast.
Blast him, Buster.
Yes.
Please,
On. Ooh.
An 8, unfortunately, will not hit, but the dark eldritch energy rockets out through the night and into the cornfield, and you can just see a bunch of corn cut down over the course of its range. Papa May wakes the rest of the family up and begins pushing them out of the tent, and they start very quickly trying to get the ship in ordered. But as they do, they sort of like that like insane like go 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 seems to slow down as they all look over at this wall of angry plant life. But they are still trying to get the ship ready to go. Which makes it Layla's turn.
Guess I'm gonna. I mean, there's a lot of sleeping guys, a lot of dead guys. I guess I'll Sacred Flame this guy. Can I reach him?
Yeah, sure.
Probably.
The map's not to scale.
It's 60 feet away.
DC 16 dex save.
Yeah, I can reach him. Uh-huh. DC 16.
17.
Yeah, motherfucker. I missed! Kelrick,
So
save me!
fire comes crashing out.
Stand behind me. I got it, maybe.
The gobos are gonna go around the giant wall of thorns. This one's picking pockets. This one's trying to wake up his friend. This one's worried about poor Chubbo. You do see one of them leap into the water, and they, like dolphins, swim. Like their feet flick out behind them. The water doesn't seem to have much an effect on their movement speed due to their little webbed feet.
Boy.
But with the wall of giant thorns in their way, none of them are gonna get. They're smart enough to not go through the thorns. This one has got to try to get the hunting trap off his foot, which he will. So he just spends his turn prying the hunting trap off his foot. Joyden, it is your turn.
Awesome. I want to shoot the closest one, which is that one.
Yeah, he just leapt into the water. That's as far as he can get, though.
But a 12 hit.
So your arrow hits the water, and the magic ice spike freezes the top of the water, but doesn't penetrate deep enough to actually hit him.
Sand in my eye. And that's all I'm going to do.
Back to the top of the order. That makes it Curtis's turn again.
Can I see? Sleep around this general area.
Yeah, sleep again.
Yeah. Keep him distracted.
You can put this guy to sleep. This guy to sleep. And I'll say it catches this guy too, because if we positioned it right, it would. So you get 3 of them that just
I'll take it.
fall out into the mud asleep. So this guy finally pries the hunting trap off his foot, Chris. You see him pry it off. He looks up triumphantly. And he pulls out a long, like, sharpened piece of what looks like almost like a piece of sheet metal. Like maybe it was a part of a ship. He's like, ah! Just passes out. But they're still rushing out into the water after you. Chris, it is your turn. Ira will reload your crossbow, so if you want to make 2 attacks with your crossbow, you can.
I will do that again.
21 is a hit, and a 21 is a hit. Which 2 do you want to shoot?
I'll get these 2 right here.
So one of them catches a crossbow bolt in his little webbed foot. It goes right through his foot. No, not. I'm sorry.
Don't
I made
make it cute.
You're
You're gonna make me want to keep one.
It goes through his
Wait,
foot.
no.
His foot splinters, and he rolls in the water. You see blood begin to fill the water. The other one you catch in the back of the neck, and he just goes belly up in the water. So Iris spent her turn reloading a crossbow. Kelric.
Alright. Kelric is wondering if his transformation thing is concentration or not. I don't think it is.
To turn into a critter?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, cool. Then Kelric is going to...
polymorph is. Beast shape is not.
Then Kelric is going to jump in the water and turn into a dogfish.
Aw.
A dogfish.
And then I'm gonna bite someone.
I have
Giant
a fish.
shark.
I have a fish.
I have a placard for it. Or a sheet for it.
Okay.
Sweet.
Because you made one for me in the past.
Is it the Kelric fish boy?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a shark token for that, but that's fine.
Fish
So
is
Kelric
hard.
reaps in and just instantly, like in the air as he's going, turns into this long, sleek, angry-looking fish. I think it's your bonus action to change because of the circle you are, so you may go ahead and try to bite.
19?
19 will definitely hit.
Okay, and then that's D. No.
14 will not hit.
Oh no, sorry. No, I rolled an actual dice, and then I
Click on
needed-
the word bite in chat, and that'll give you damage. 6. Okay. And don't you have like a blood frenzy thing? You have pack tactics, water breathing, and bite. No, I think that's great white sharks.
Me.
Okay, so you bite into this thing. There's a flurry of motion in the water as Kelric the fish begins tearing chunks out of this goblin. Buster.
Can I do an intimidation check with like Muffin being like, "Yes, approach me."
Why not? Make a charisma check as a dogfish. They do not seem intimidated. You're probably not the first fish to take a bite out of one of their buddies. Buster.
Okay. How about Eldritch Blast again?
Okay. Blast him. Eldritchly.
Yes. Ooh, I don't know if like that cheese on that mushroom didn't sit well with me, but it's
Oh
owie.
no.
Yeah. That's what I get for being lactose intolerant.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Punishment. A 16 will hit.
Oh.
Cool. So I want to see if I can get out. Oh wait, just a second. This fella.
The one that Kelric's nomming upon?
Oh wait, no, not that one. This
No.
one.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage.
Damage.
Boop. Boop a snoot.
No.
So you catch like you burn across the side of his face. The eldritch energy eats away at his skin, but he moves out of the way enough that he doesn't catch the brunt of the force. So it just like taking a good punch on the cheek. The maize begin getting the ship ready in order, and there's lots of shouting in their pigeon language. The sails begin to open up. The anchor is getting reeled in. It looks like they're trying to flee, but at the same time, they're like just watching a little bit. Like they're just sort of confused at the number of these things that you've just fucking laid waste to. Layla.
Well, Layla didn't do so well the last time, so I think she's going to. Can I get my spiritual weapon out? I would like to put out my spiritual weapon.
An 11 will not hit.
I will put it here. And then can I try to sacred flame the one in the water, I guess? Next to my doohickey. So that's a dexterity saving throw. DC
That's
16.
the one that Kelric's nomming on.
Yeah.
Nom, 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 nom.
Nam nam nam.
13.
That's the one I wanted.
Okay.
So then he takes the 4.
Okay, so there's a like a blast of divine energy that impacts the water, and then Kelric, the creature in your clutches, goes limp.
Nom, nom, nom.
Which makes it their turn. With a large quantity of them slaughtered, you could see hesitancy as they begin to reach the edge of the water, and from further somewhere inland, you hear a deeper voice echo out that is speaking the same gibbering language, though. Like and the goblins stop and sort of look around at each other confused. The voice echoes out again from somewhere in the cornfield. And the goblins actually begin to back away, hesitantly, looking a little annoyed, but they are beginning to retreat. I'm just gonna start slinging them this way. They are leaving their sleeping pals. This one got woken up. That one just got shit stolen. Okay, so they are running away. Joyden.
Okay, so one that isn't asleep but is still running away, I would like to shoot him.
Sure.
Shoot him in his back. Why not?
Right in the head and ass.
That
At 18 will definitely hit.
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh
for a-
fuck. 18's Jesus.
He becomes an ice cube that shatters. He just freezes over and then flops into the mud, and then bits of him crack and peel off. A big old pointy goblin ear just peels off and falls into the mud.
Wow.
He did. Which makes it Curtis's turn.
Alright, so it looks like more are coming.
They're running away.
Oh, alright. Cool. Doo-doo-doo.
Yeah, there was a deeper voice echoing from hidden somewhere in the corn, and they began to run away.
We can't discern whomsta it is yet.
Yeah, you don't see the voice. Man, dogfish have nasty teeth. They're like they're like shark's teeth, but instead of being pointed up, they are hooked back. So they
Oh,
like serrations.
I have to see
So
that.
it's like fish hooks.
Yeah, they're like fish hooks. Which one do you want to dissonant whispers?
This little group right here.
One of the ones that's asleep.
Yeah.
These guys
They're
are
both
asleep.
asleep.
I don't know if it would reach all the way
Yeah,
over here. But...
Sure. I don't know. You can just pick one. Don't worry about the distance.
Alright, well, let's pick the one with more then.
Okay. Does the sleep condition do anything to their saving throws? They are unconscious. What does unconscious do? They are incapacitated. They cannot move or speak. They drop pwn. They automatically fail strength. No. So he will pass his saving throw and take 4 points of damage, which will awaken him. So the low whispering tones once again echo out of Curtis. The thing begins to convulse. Blood starts to pour out of its eyes, ears, and nose,
Good
and
night.
like dripping. And it actually snaps awake, leaps up, looks around terrified, and starts to run off into the cornfield. Chris, Ira will reload the crossbow, so you may go ahead and take your turn.
Okay.
Might as well pick up a couple more. Fun.
Do what? Doing what to whom?
I
Okay.
was talking to roll 20. It took a long time to roll those. Does the 11 hit?
An 11 does not hit, but an 18 will.
Okay.
Whom are you shooting upon?
I guess one of these guys, probably in range. That guy.
Sure. I don't know.
I don't know.
I literally did this map like 10 minutes ago. Yeah, so the crossbow bolt into like his ass, and he and then runs off into the corn, to become a child of the corn. Kelric, it is your turn. Chris is just like having little pot shots.
Kelric is gonna like swim around the edge of the boat just to keep an eye out. Like,
Okay. She's just doing a patrol.
yeah, this for a
Okay.
while.
Buster.
They're retreating. And he just kind of plops down on his butt and
Like there's a little leftover fish, but Buster's just like, oh yeah.
ah,
Gonna eat this part. Okay, no problem. He's just like, nobody wanted the eyes, but eat the eyes.
the best part.
The ship at this point begins to slowly pull away. The goblins are fleeing. Does anybody else want to take like a last minute shot or?
Can I move my lipstick over here and whack the sleeping guy?
Sure, you'll have advantage because he's sleeping.
Whack.
Would there be time for me to retrieve my trap?
Um,
This is fine.
sure. You can. A 13 will still not hit. So you just hear as the lipstick smacks into the mud. Chris leaps off the boat, rushes out, grabs her trap, and clinging back up, comes back up to the ship. I'd probably stabbing a goblin as she goes. The ones that are left awake and alive flee off back into the cornfield, and the others are laying there asleep or dead. So unless you guys want to collect yourself a sleeping goblin for interrogation purposes, the maze begin to pull the ship away. I assume Kelric wants to de-fish boy and climb back up onto the ship.
Yeah, he does that thing where swim real fast and
And then midair vamps back into the vamps back into full on furball man form and lands back on the ship, shakes off the fur, river water splattering everywhere. The maze push off the boat and like you can see the little kids especially, but the whole family are looking at you like wide-eyed and confused.
My lipstick looks sad and gets back on the boat.
Oh.
It like shortens itself down in the tube. It's like I didn't do a good job.
Well, it's okay, lipstick. There's always more time.
It's a sad spiritual weapon.
There'll be others.
Dick has performance anxiety.
Go.
He does.
Aw.
And with that apparent battle over, why don't we just take like a 5-minute break real quick? So let's do a bio break. Everybody run do your things, refill your drinks, and I will see you guys back at 46.
Okie dokie.
5-minute break.